My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the B.Ed second semester subject content and pedagogy of English education at secondary stage, as prescribed by Osmania University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 2 first important short question is: what are learning outcomes? Learning outcomes are the clear statements of what students are expected to know, understand, and be able to do after a lesson or course. They act like a goal or target for both teachers and students. For example, if the lesson is on present tense, a learning outcome could be students will be able to frame 5 sentences using present tense correctly. Here, the teacher and students both know the exact aim. Learning outcomes are important because they give a direction to teaching, help teachers plan activities and assessments, allow students to check their own progress. Example, in English class, after a poem lesson, the learning outcome could be students will be able to explain the theme of the poem in their own words. In short, learning outcomes are like a Google map. They show the destination of learning and guide teachers and students to reach it effectively. Next important short question is: 2. Define academic standards. Academic standards are the set levels of knowledge, skills, and abilities that students are expected to achieve in a subject at a particular stage of education. They work like a benchmark or measuring scale to check the quality of learning. For example, in English, an academic standard for class 8 could be: students should be able to read a passage and answer comprehension questions correctly. This shows the minimum level every student must reach. Academic standards are important because they give clarity about what to teach and what to learn, ensure uniform quality of education for all students, help teachers design lessons, activities, and assessments. Example, a writing standard could be: students should be able to write a short paragraph with correct grammar and punctuation. In short, academic standards are like the exam passing line. They set the minimum level every student should cross to prove successful learning. Next important short question is: 3. Mention 2 teaching learning materials used in English classrooms. Teaching learning materials, TLMs, are tools used by teachers to make English lessons clear, interesting, and interactive. They help students understand better and remember for a longer time. 2 examples of TLMs in English classrooms are: 1. Flashcards. These are small cards with words or pictures. Example, a card with a picture of an apple and the word apple. The teacher shows it and asks, "What is this?" Students reply, "This is an apple." Flashcards help in learning vocabulary, spelling, and pronunciation in a fun way. 2. Charts and posters. These are large sheets with information, images, or grammar rules. Example, a tense chart showing examples of past, present, and future tense. Students can quickly revise by looking at the chart. Charts make learning visual and easy to recall. In short, TLMs are like spices in cooking. They make English learning more flavorful, engaging, and effective. Next important short question is: 4. What is the role of ICT in English teaching? ICT, Information and Communication Technology, plays a very important role in teaching English because it makes learning modern, interactive, and student-friendly. ICT includes tools like computers, projectors, smart boards, the internet, mobile apps, and audiovisual aids. With ICT, English lessons become more interesting and practical. Example, A teacher can show a short English movie clip to teach listening and speaking skills. Students watch, listen, and then discuss the story in English. Example, using PowerPoint slides, a teacher can explain grammar rules with pictures, animations, and examples instead of only writing on the board. ICT helps students to improve pronunciation by listening to recordings, develop reading and writing through online quizzes and ebooks, gain confidence in speaking through video-based activities. In short, ICT is like a magic window that connects the classroom with the real English world. It makes English learning faster, enjoyable, and effective. Next important short question is 5. Define study and reference skills. Study and reference skills are the abilities that help students collect, understand, and use information effectively while learning English. These skills guide students on how to study smartly and where to look for information when needed. Study skills include reading carefully, taking notes, summarizing, highlighting important points, and managing time. Example, while reading a chapter, a student underlines keywords and writes a short summary in their notebook. This helps in quick revision. Reference skills mean using resources like dictionaries, encyclopedias, grammar books, or the internet to find meanings, spellings, or extra information. Example, if a student doesn't know the meaning of sustainable, they check it in a dictionary or online. These skills are important because they make students independent learners and improve their confidence. In short, study and reference skills are like Google Maps for students. They show the right way to learn, remember, and apply knowledge effectively. Next, Unit 7. Long questions. First important long question is: explain the process of developing unit plans and lesson period plans based on learning outcomes. Process of developing unit plans and lesson period plans based on learning outcomes. Planning is very important in English teaching because it helps teachers teach systematically and achieve the learning outcomes. There are two levels of planning: unit plan and lesson period plan. 1. Developing a unit plan. A unit plan is the teacher's roadmap for teaching a full unit, chapter. It covers several periods. The steps are: 1. Identify learning outcomes. Decide what students should achieve after completing the unit. Example, students will be able to narrate a story in their own words. 2. Divide the unit into subtopics. Break the unit into small parts like reading, vocabulary, grammar, writing. 3. Select teaching methods and resources. Choose activities, role play, group discussion, reading aloud, and materials, flashcards, charts, ICT tools. 4. Plan assessment. Decide how to check learning, oral questions, worksheets, or group tasks. A unit plan is like the blueprint of a building. It gives the big picture. 2. Developing a lesson period plan. A lesson period plan is more detailed and is prepared for one classroom period, usually 40 to 50 minutes. Steps are: 1. Learning outcome. Example, students will be able to use present continuous tense in sentences. 2. Introduction. Start with a short activity, like showing a picture and asking, "What is the boy doing?" 3. Presentation. Teach the concept with examples. He is playing, she is reading. 4. Practice. Students make their own sentences in pairs or groups. 5. Evaluation. Teacher asks quick questions or gives a worksheet. 6. Conclusion. Homework. Summarize and assign a small task. A lesson plan is like the daily timetable. It gives step-by-step guidance. Conclusion. Unit plan is equal to big picture for a whole chapter. Lesson plan is equal to step-by-step plan for one class. Both are based on learning outcomes to ensure that teaching is clear, effective, and student-centered. Next important long question is: 2. Discuss the importance of teaching learning aids in English classroom teaching. Importance of teaching learning aids in English classroom teaching. Teaching learning aids, TLAs, are materials, tools, or devices that help teachers explain lessons clearly and make English learning more engaging. They can be visual aids, charts, flashcards, pictures, audio aids, songs, recordings, audiovisual aids, videos, smart boards, or even real objects. These aids play a very important role in English classrooms. 1. Make learning easy and clear. English grammar or vocabulary can be abstract. Aids make it concrete and simple. Example: a timeline chart makes tenses easy to understand. 2. Increase interest and motivation. Aids catch students' attention and reduce boredom. Example: showing a short cartoon clip in English excites students and improves listening skills. 3. Support different learning styles. Some students learn by seeing, some by hearing, and some by doing. Aids provide all these opportunities. Example: flashcards, visual, audio stories, auditory, and role-play with props, kinesthetic. 4. Improve communication skills. Aids encourage real use of English instead of rote learning. Example: a role-play using shopping items helps students practice conversations like: Customer, how much is this pen? Shopkeeper, it is 10 rupees. 5. Connect classroom with real life. Aids bring real-world situations into the classroom. Example: using a newspaper article helps students learn vocabulary and sentence structures while staying updated. Conclusion: teaching learning aids are not just extra materials, they are powerful tools that make English clear, fun, and memorable. Develop vocabulary, grammar, and communication skills. Create a student-centered and active classroom. In short, TLAs are like spices in food. Without them, learning becomes dull, but with them, it becomes flavorful and effective. Next important long question is: 3. Explain the use of ICT in English teaching with examples. Use of ICT in English teaching. ICT, Information and Communication Technology, has changed the way English is taught. Instead of only chalk and blackboard, teachers now use computers, projectors, smart boards, mobile apps, and the internet. ICT makes learning more interactive, modern, and student-centered. 1. Improves listening and speaking skills. ICT tools like audio clips, podcasts, and videos help students listen to correct pronunciation and practice speaking. Example: playing an English song or story recording and then asking students to repeat sentences improves accent and fluency. 2. Makes grammar and vocabulary interesting. PowerPoint slides, animations, and online games make grammar rules easy to understand. Example: a grammar quiz app where students answer questions on tenses or articles makes practice fun. 3. Supports reading and writing skills. ICT provides ebooks, online articles, and writing platforms for practice. Example: students can read a short e-story and then write a summary on Google Docs, which the teacher checks instantly. 4. Brings real-life English into the classroom. ICT connects students with authentic English use. Example: showing a YouTube video of a news report helps students learn vocabulary and sentence patterns used in daily life. 5. Encourages collaboration and creativity. ICT allows group projects using digital tools. Example, students can create a presentation on their favorite festival using PowerPoint or Canva and present it in class. Conclusion: ICT in English teaching makes lessons visual, interactive, and fun. Improves all four skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing. Prepares students for a digital world where English is widely used. In short, ICT is like a bridge. It connects classroom learning with the real English-speaking world, making education more effective and enjoyable. Next important long question is: 4. Describe pre-reading, reading, and post-reading stages in lesson planning. Pre-reading, reading, and post-reading stages in lesson planning. When teaching reading skills in English, teachers usually follow 3 stages: pre-reading, reading, and post-reading. These stages make reading interesting, meaningful, and skill-oriented. 1. Pre-reading stage. This stage prepares students for the text. The aim is to create curiosity, give background knowledge, and introduce new words. Example, if the lesson is The Hare and the Tortoise, the teacher may ask, "Have you heard any stories about animals? What lesson do they teach us?" This makes students eager to read. Activities, showing pictures, asking questions, predicting the story. 2. Reading stage. Here, students actually read the text. The teacher guides them to understand meaning, pronunciation, and main ideas. Reading can be silent reading to get meaning, or loud reading to check pronunciation and fluency. Example, students silently read the story, then one by one read aloud. The teacher corrects mistakes and explains difficult words. Activities, skimming, quick reading for main idea, scanning, searching for details, and reading aloud. 3. Post-reading stage. This stage helps students think, analyze, and use the text in their own words. It makes reading more than just looking at words. Example, after reading the story, students may answer questions like "Why did the hare lose?" or write the moral of the story. They can even role-play the characters. Activities, question-answer, summary writing, role-play, discussion. Conclusion: pre-reading is equal to creates interest and prepares the mind. Reading is equal to helps in understanding and practicing language. Post-reading is equal to encourages reflection, analysis, and creative use of language. Together, these 3 stages make reading a complete learning process, improving comprehension, vocabulary, and critical thinking. Next important long question is: 5. Discuss the importance of developing study and reference skills in English learners. Importance of developing study and reference skills in English learners. Study and reference skills are special learning habits that help students become independent learners. They are important because English is not just about learning words. It is about using the language for reading, writing, thinking, and solving problems. 1. Makes learners independent. When students know how to use a dictionary, thesaurus, or encyclopedia, they don't need to depend only on the teacher. They can find meanings, spellings, synonyms, and examples on their own. Example, a student who doesn't know the meaning of sustainable can look it up in a dictionary and use it correctly in sentences. 2. Improves reading and writing. Study skills like note-making, summarizing, and skimming help students understand large texts easily. Reference skills guide them to find information from books, libraries, or the internet. Example, while preparing a project on environmental pollution, students can read different articles and make short notes in their own words. 3. Saves time and builds confidence. By practicing skills like indexing, glossary use, and scanning for keywords, learners save time and complete tasks faster. They also feel more confident in exams and classroom discussions. 4. Encourages lifelong learning. These skills are not just for school but for higher studies, jobs, and real life. A person who knows how to research, read critically, and refer to reliable sources can learn anything new anytime. 5. Supports critical thinking. Reference skills push learners to compare information from different sources. This helps them think deeply and avoid copying blindly. Conclusion. Developing study and reference skills is like giving students a toolbox for learning. With tools like dictionaries, note-making, libraries, and online resources, they become active, confident, and independent learners. In short, study skills is equal to learning how to learn. Reference skills is equal to learning where to find knowledge. Both together make English learning effective and lifelong.